Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I'm from No Place for Hate, which is our school's club that's dedicated to promoting inclusion and equality here at Verado. So February, as many of you guys know, is Black History Month, and we wanted to prepare a presentation just kind of explaining what Black History Month is, why it's important, and why we celebrate it, and also highlight some really incredible Black figures in American history that you might not have heard of before. So first and foremost, why do we celebrate Black History Month, and why is it so important to us? We celebrate Black History Month to honor the people who built this country. By giving a spotlight to those who are underrepresented, we can learn about what they went through and how much they have overcome just to earn a seat at the table. We use this month to remember the injustices that were and still are imposed on Black people in America and around the world. So there are a lot of important dates in Black history, one of them being Juneteenth, which is the anniversary of June 19th, 1865, when the last slaves found out about the Emancipation Proclamation, regardless of its ratification being over 2 years prior. In 1926, Black History Month was created by Carter G. Woodson. On January 1st, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation was issued, and on July 2nd, 1964, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was made, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race and gender. So, first up in our exploration of important Black figures in American history, we have figures of the Civil War era. So, pictured here is I.W. Wells, who is one of the founders of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, a civil rights activist, and an investigative journalist for Black and women's civil rights. We also have W.E.B. Du Bois, who was the first Black man to earn a PhD from Harvard University, and another co founder of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Another notable figure is Sojourner Truth, who was an abolitionist and temperance advocate born into slavery, and who was the first Black woman to win a case against a white man. Finally, we have Booker T. Washington, who was born a slave and who became a leading intellectual in the 19th century and founded the Tuskegee University. Next up, we have the Civil Rights era, where we have Malcolm X, who is a well known civil rights activist and a Muslim minister, Gordon Parks, who was a photographer whose work showcased civil rights and poverty, and Ruby Bridges, who was the first Black child to desegregate an all white school, and who is now a civil rights activist. Finally, we have Marsha P. Johnson, who is also known as Malcolm, who is a liberation activist who fought for gay rights. We also have an honorable mention for Mae Jemison, who is the first Black woman in space. Next up, we have a lot of really incredible Black leaders in politics these days. For example, Clarence Thomas, who is an associate of the U.S. Supreme Court. We also have Herman Cain, who is an American businessman, Raphael Warnock, who is a junior U.S. Senator from Georgia, and Stacey Abrams, who is an activist and used to be on the House of Representatives. Next up, we have a lot of incredible Black artists in American history, such as Alvin Ailey, who founded the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater to honor Black culture through dance, Chuck Berry, who invented rock and roll, Jimi Hendrix, who is one of the most influential electric guitarists in history, and finally Ray Charles, who was awarded 17 Grammy Awards for his contributions to the soul music genre. So now that we've come to the end of our presentation, we have a few discussion prompts for you guys. First, are there any other Black figures you feel should be discussed in addition to the ones in these slides? Second, how have the actions of these people affected your life? And third, what kind of an impact did these leaders leave on society while they were alive and or now? So I will leave you guys to discuss those questions. Thank you so much for your time and happy Black History Month from everyone here at No Place for Hate.